there was a couple groups. One group was quite interested, and they went on to take a former partner. I never quite knew what it was, but we had a meeting, and I said, well, I said, how can you help us? And after that, they were like, thanks a lot, but never mind. And they were calling me like every day. This is when my mother was passing at the time. And, we took her off food and water, and so we're waiting. And they still would call me, when can we get together? And they would drop names like, we're at the Bel Air, some big hotel. And, we're here talking about how we're going to make native foods really big. And I said, I may just get through this. And I had a business partner at the time. I'd taken on a partner back from beginning of Native Foods that wanted out. And, we were trying to come to a term. Mom's dying. It's another squishy time in life. And I said, look, I really can't do anything until I make a deal with the partner to be a former partner. And they said, oh, we'll buy him out. We'll do whatever it takes, just throwing it at me. And I'm like, can we just, what? I'd be happy to meet with you. I'm sitting next to my mom right now. And nothing sort of fazed them. And so I went ahead with the meeting with them after she'd passed. And they're like, let's go to dinner. We want to do and just big words, big names. We're going to make all this just great. And I knew there were a little, but again, I don't know who these people are going to be like that are going to come in anyway. So I knew something was a little off. And I'd been around, growing up. The other thing I did too is my dad was a 5-star maitre d' for this country club of the 1%ers. And I did private parties. And I saw these people with gazillions who were very nice. And so when this guy's dropping names and telling me, oh, I'm driving this car and it brakes by itself. And I totally saw he was trying to impress me because I realized all those people from before, they never tried to impress you. You never knew they had money. So when people talk about how much they have, it's always like a little warning sign. And then my mom's dying, they didn't seem to care, but I'm still continuing because my growth plan, and I'd like to see what they have to offer. So finally we have a meeting with them, and at the end of it, I get this phone call at 5 a.m. You're a great gal. I'm at the airport, but I think we're going to go another way. Well, what they did was they took the former partner, took all my staff, and while this was going on, I had no control over it other than that I would pull up to my little restaurant in Westwood. They'd be sitting outside with the investors, like he'd bring all these people. They were venture people. They'd worked with like Bilkin back in the junk bonds days. These guys were just looking, to create something, and they wanted what they saw. It didn't matter. So that was my first lesson of like, whoa, they actually opened it saying they had the founder of Native Foods. For the first year, I think it worked. And then they had the names of the food items were different. And that was kind of like, oh, well, then you're feeling like the shuffle up. Right now they're going on. It's the same repeat. Oh, they're going on and doing my dream with my concept, basically calling it another name.
What'd they call it?
Veggie Grill.
Oh, that's Veggie Grill.
Yeah. And so it's all legal.
Beef.
Yeah. So I remember seeing them a couple times saying, is that how the big guys do business? And,
if I may.
Yeah.
Native Foods is the superior of the two.
Well, it certainly was for when I,
during your era.
Yeah, when I was there, I know because I was making the food. And so I had the Bali burger, and then they put the Bali Bliss burger. Like they knew that they could change the name a little bit. So they're creating a little confusion. And, you have no recipes. Anybody can change a little something. It's not a big deal.
The Bali's on these characters.
Yeah.
The Bali's on these characters.
Yeah. They live like that. The worst they did the thing was too, when you're starting as staffing, and they offered everybody like 50 cents more. And then you have like managers going, oh, I'm going to work for this grocery store somewhere. They all start leaving. And you're like, oh, and then you find out like, oh, they've all went over there because they got like 50 cents more an hour, which leaves you having to rehire, which is costly. And that was the worst part, I think, for me, because it was hard and it cost money, and time and energy. And it's like, whoa. And so they go on, start opening. They've got all this money and shiny new clothes, and here I am going, oh.
Because they like blew up, like really expanded fast.
Yeah. Well, they know the game, They just, they have the financing.
Yeah.
So money can do that.
Yeah.
There's also things it can't do.